Hello guys and gals, so today, Londinium Outskirts, I'm using a rather bizarre group today, but nevertheless, I will show you guys how to get through this. The daily contract is born anew, which makes these reborn creatures amazingly tanky. But to go in, we're going to go in with well-equipped 3, which increases, unfortunately, the tankiness. Last line of defense and Battlefield Remnant, which blocks off some of the tiles on the right-hand side. Team we're going to be going in with, this is all very helter-skelter because I've been chopping and changing as I've been working through this, but I'm using Vigna as a vanguard. You don't have to use Vigna. You can use any high damage vanguard, so I'm going to say that is the requisite. So a lot of people probably have Texas unlocked, so if you go in with Texas skill 2, she's great. Any of the single block vanguards are great because you don't really need to worry about blocking any more than one unit at a time, because basically once the slugs in this, if you've never done this map before, the slug enemies actually increase block value, so your one block can stack up to like 7, I think is the cap. So if you've got Bagpipe, Vigna, Reed is actually astounding for this because she restores an extra deployment point. I do like using the single block vanguards because if you've got the modules, they do recover the whole lot. Heading down to the 4 stars, we're looking at Scavenger. Healers, Perfumer, Gavial, Suzerain with skill 2, and I also have Breeze. Breeze is available from the store, so she is a free unit. Obviously you don't need Breeze, you can bring any other AoE healer you want. I do suggest an AoE healer over a single target, and if I don't believe you need the module, I don't think that extra range is actually good for anything. Ethan is going to be picking up anything that sort of leaks through, and he also does a little bit of extra damage. I do suggest using skill 2. Cora and Bubble for tanks, so Bubble's using skill 2 and Cora's using skill 2 as well, and we got a whole bunch of fast redeploys. So I've got Grabble, Yato. You can obviously use, if you've got her, you can obviously use the big fancy Yato. Norcorn as well, just as a cheap, tanky, fast redeploy. Last but not least, we're also going to be borrowing, if I can find one, yep, a Yafyala with skill 3. So you also have this one extra tile left. You can bring whatever you want. I suggest bringing another fast redeploy. Thermite can help. That's about it, all I can really think of. Just another fast redeploy, another vanguard, anything to sort of help out, so Myrtle for example. But anyway, if this helps out guys, consider leaving a like and subscribing, helps me get in the algorithm, and I appreciate the support greatly. So we're going to start off by putting Vigna there. And straight up Cora here. So don't worry about these initial enemies. Like I said, these touch of Sanguine Arch, they will actually increase block values. The initial couple of humanoid enemies, they will actually do loops, so you don't need to worry if one does sneak past your Vigna, because your Vigna will absolutely catch it on its second lap around. Okay, so Effie is a bit weird with how you can place her. You can place her facing this way because I do find that Vigna does take a long time, or when you replace a Bubble will take a long time to kill things. So there is a lot of stress on that tank, or you can face it down and just keep everything off Cora. It's really up to you guys. There's no really great way to do this. We're going to start off with popping Yato up the top here. And we're going to let that explosion go off, and then we're going to start popping in healers. So start off with Perfumer for her map-wide heal talent. That way everything just starts getting healed. You notice the second group's come out, and what we're going to do is wait until this enemy comes out, drop in Gravel, pull her back out, drop in Ethan, drop in Gaviel, so our Vigna has some healing, and as you can see, all of these guys have just bunched up on Vigna, so Vigna's nice and happy. Once these Sarkaz enemies come out, do not use Effie's skill. As enticing as it is to start clearing them early, don't do it. We need them to boost up our artillery strike. So we're going to deploy Norcorn here. Who is just going to tank damage. Use Ethan's skill to try and bind things up for as long as we can. So Norcorn's going to go down. There he goes. Replaced with Gravel. And hopefully by this point in time, between Ethan and everyone else, we should get ourselves a lovely... bang! There we go. Alright. Help finish this off, and now we're going to start redeploying everything else. So... out and in. So I'll fast forward this because this is just going to sort of play itself through. Again, fast redeploy here. Just make sure we kill this enemy. This enemy's just going to kind of hang around. Out. And here comes another big group of 4. So once that Sarkaz enemy is down, then we're going to use Effie's skill. The boss will be in range about that point in time, so that's a good indication of when. The boss now will also be in range of Effie, so the boss will be attacking Effie and additionally raising your artillery strikes. So keep an eye on that, because you can very quickly lose track of them. Once again, bait this attack. Norcorn in. And I'm going to leave Gravel in there, because as you can see, this enemy's bound up Gravel. So I'm going to leave that enemy in there to just do what it does. And try and grab Gravel, which I hope I did there. Just so you can get her out and you get some deployment points back. It's not essential, but, you know, every little bit helps. Vigna in. We're going to get rid of this enemy with Vigna. Or at the very least, we're going to start working on that enemy with Vigna. I think that enemy is actually going to kill her. That's alright. Gravel in. Explosion. Life's good. Gravel out. Okay. Now we're basically just waiting on Effie to cycle. Now, if you guys have Liskarm is just going to make your life so much easier. So if you put Liskarm here, you'll actually battery boost Effie the whole time. Usually when I'm trying to boost somebody like Effie, I would also suggest bringing Telopsis, but don't do that this time around. Breeze is going to be, I mean, if you don't have Breeze and you have Telopsis, you can actually do that. But Breeze is going to be ideal just because of this skill. -1 target, attack plus 100%. So that is going to help you dramatically. Effie skill again. Take that artillery strike. Out. So at this point in time, we are just baiting. It is all delay here. We don't want the boss to move too far from where he is, because obviously Effie's attacking him. But you can also see why I say that there's no great way to do this with Effie. You aim her down, she'll attack the boss. You aim her over this way, you're reliant on her skill to get the boss's health down. Unless you can move her forward. One way or the other, towards the end, we're going to have to redeploy Effie. I'll use Bubble's skill just to reflect some of their damage back, but... basically, what's going on here is just going to have to... it's going to be one of those things that you just got to take your time for. It is just a waiting game from here on out. So... just gonna go pew pew pew. Let that fall. Whoop. Replace. At this point in time, I'm also going to swap Breeze in just here. Okay, so the extra range actually is helpful. There you go. Answered my own question. So if you've got a module, great. If you don't have a module on your AoE healer, probably bring a single target. Bring Mer. Mer won't hurt. Okay, Effie's good to go again, so we're going to use Effie's skill again. Just keep setting these down early so you know what's going on. Okay, there are all the enemies. Boss will enter its second phase. So the boss's little drone will just start hopping from person to person. Make sure you keep an eye on Yato or whoever is here at the time. Make sure you're constantly replacing them, because at this point in time, your artillery strike will hop up dramatically. And once the boss enters its second phase, you really have to keep an eye on Effie, because Effie will be getting hammered. So what we need to do here is actually force the boss to progress forward. The boss will actually run a faster attack speed the longer it's attacking something. So we really want to force this boss off Effie. And start forcing it forward. So Breeze. And now we have a whole bunch of enemies coming in. Keep an eye on your artillery. So artillery is very close to dropping, so we're going to put Norcorn in here. Boom. Second set of enemies. So the boss is killing Breeze, so I want to move the boss forward. So I'm going to deploy Gravel. Use Effie's skill to get rid of these enemies, and I might just leave that a minute before putting Yato in, just in case I need to move the boss forward again, which I probably will. But once these two enemies here on Bubble are done, that's it. So yes, I will force the boss forward again. Out. In. Boom. 55 and 58, two enemies here. Ethan is done. Breeze is pretty much done. I'm gonna leave Breeze in just because. See if I can just delay this as long as humanly possible. I did manage to actually get the boss to move, which is a bonus. I'll Gravel over there just so she's out of the way. Okay, everything is done. Bubble out. Breeze we're leaving in because I want to delay the boss as long as humanly possible. Effie is still charging. Okay, Breeze went down, not a problem. He's going to attack Gavil for a little while. I'm going to put Norcorn in over here, just so I know where this explosion is going. He is, yep, okay, so there goes Gravel. And now we do not want him to nuke Effie, so be so careful of Effie. That's all I can say. So just keep him moving. Pop in Yato over here. And I'm happy for him to attack gravel for a little while. Just make him move as much as he'll possibly move. Okay, so you notice that his attack speed is sped back up. That's pretty fine. He is still moving. He's still doing a little shuffle forward. I'll let that artillery strike go off. Out. Is he gonna go all the way? No, he's not. So again, Vigna, don't let him kill anyone. Gravel. And once you start C, there he is. Okay, so now we're safe. Ideally, you would have removed Effie and swapped her directions, but that's okay. I'll just cycle Effie's skill. No corn. But you guys are going to get the point. This is all very straightforward now, so I'm just going to do this and this. This. You can put Ethan there if you really want. Ethan doesn't have a block value, so he'll just do what he does. I'm going to keep Bubble just in case something happens to Cora. I mean, as you can see, Cora is pretty happily sitting there without her skill on cycle, so... One, two, Effie, facing that way. So just be mindful that I did just bollocks that up a little bit by replacing Effie, so I'll need to replace all my deploys on this side. Effie, Cora, may as well just to take some of the ease off our healers. So this is basically it. At this point in time, if you want to use Vigna, you probably can. I mean, you can see now that it's safe. It's going to be a hell of a long video. And I apologize for that. So, 1, 2... And once we get Vigna in, I mean, if you wanted to replace Cora with Bubble, you could. The boss is actually taking big swings, so Bubble does have a little bit of a reflect going on. So I'll dogpile in another operator there. And there's not much else I can really do there. But as you can see, the boss is slowly going down. There we go. So it takes a while, it's a lot of delay, but you guys get it. I hope that helps.